Welcome back to a new video. This is Bryce with Bryce Buys Crypto, and we have some huge news for you guys. Quite the turn of events has happened within the past 24 hours, and we're going to break it down for you guys right here. So the first thing I'd like you guys to notice is the Crypterra site is back up and running. And some of you may be saying, well, hasn't it always been? Well, no, it has not. This morning, myself, along with everyone else who tried to log in to Crypterra, was hit with messages looking just like these. Error, URL not found, forbidden, you don't have permission to access this server. And as you can imagine, this caused quite the panic across the community. Everywhere from Reddit to Facebook to Twitter to YouTube comment sections, everyone was freaking out, basically thinking that Crypterra was gone and ran off with all of our money. And as you can see here, I'm going to log in for you guys now. They are back up and functioning as normal. So personally, when I could not log into Crypterra this morning, understandably, I panicked a little bit along with the rest of the Crypterra community. Some of you guys may know I have a little bit over $6,000 invested with Crypterra. You can see all my contracts right here. And I thought I got scammed. I honestly thought this was the end of Crypterra, and I was more mad at myself than anything that I fell for it. Personally, the first thing I did when I was able to log back into Crypterra and the site was back up is I went ahead and withdrew my balance. You can see here my balance has been reset. I've mined another $4.85 this morning. And here, I'll scroll down below for you guys. You can see here's my two withdrawals from this morning. They're currently processing. I just feel like it's the safer bet at this point, especially after what happened this morning. I don't want to take any risks, and I want to get my money back and to my Coinbase wallet and receive my full return on investment, probably before I put any more money into the Crypterra system. As time was passing this morning and Crypterra remained offline, a lot of speculation was coming in, and most of it was not good. People were all saying we'd been scammed, they've run off with our money. Everyone's known that Crypterra has not been the most transparent when it comes to their cloud mining operations, which has led people to not trust them very much. And they've also been pretty poor on the communication side, especially this morning. While their site was offline, they had no new news, no updates, and we were pretty much just left in the dark, waiting, trying to log back in, and it wasn't working. Since then, the site is obviously back up and running, and Crypterra has actually released some pretty big news for us. Some very positive news, actually, and it's likely in response to the events that occurred this morning and the whole panic that they caused. So I'm going to jump over to their official Crypterra Twitter account right here. Scroll down, and you guys can see, look at this tweet in particular. They had unscheduled technical work. In other words, something crashed, something went wrong, and they apologized for the inconvenience. Well, they definitely caused a pretty large panic, but it's good to finally hear from them. And you can see above, these two are huge tweets. These are huge releases. So they're developing an entirely new website, more secure, more functional, more convenient, launched soon. Then up here, we are hardly, okay, they're working on fixing some errors with their website. If you have any problems, don't worry about it. And then down below, this is the bombshell. We will show you some pics and videos from our new data center soon. It will be launched in February of 2017. Well, that's a little bad, but February 2018, we're hoping for a new data center. And that's huge, guys. Crypterra has not been transparent in any way with us yet. It's a little funny that they don't know this is 2018, not 2017. But yeah, I would love to see some pictures of and video of their data center. We're all asking questions about it. Nobody has any answers, and that's really big. I'd love to know. In kind of a strange way, I don't know if it's bad or good at this point, but I actually feel a little more confident with Crypterra than I did before, only because they were gone. They were off the internet. Nothing was working, and they are now back up and running and have obviously dropped some pretty big news for us. This shows us that they are working on things. They understand they have some issues and they're trying to fix them. So, going back to what I've previously said, I just believe Crypterra does mean well. I don't think they're a scam at this point. Obviously, today was a pretty big scare that nobody wanted to happen. But in reality, I think this is just a small team operation that's working things out on their end and trying to become better, trying to be the next big cloud mining website. So I'm pretty optimistic at this point. Don't know if that's bad or good, but we'll see what happens. The question now becomes, what does this mean for us, the investor, moving forward? And does this change the Crypterra investment plan? In my opinion, it really doesn't for me. I'm very glad they came back to life, so to speak, this morning. And I'm excited for what the future holds with Crypterra. But having said that, there are a few things that I really think we should demand as Crypterra investors, and some things that I would like to see from them as a company. Number one, the biggest priority, in my opinion, that Crypterra needs to focus on is security. Obviously, if you come down to the bottom here, you can see Komodo Secure. Realistically, that doesn't mean very much, and I would really like to see them introduce two-factor authentication, 2FA, for their login process. I just think that's a much safer way. Obviously, Crypterra is handling a lot of money, and hacks are very possible. So I'd like to see some added security, and I think that needs to happen now. Number two, I think Crypterra needs to be better at communicating with us, the investors. We are trusting them with a large amount of money, and we're not hearing from them right now, and that's not good. If we come down to the bottom again here, you can see currently their two pathways for communication are Google Plus and their Twitter account, and they don't really use their Google Plus, so it all comes down to Twitter. But if we come back to their Twitter page, you can see, other than these 3 posts today that are obviously responses to the crash that happened, they're not very frequent in posting, and I'd like to hear from them a little bit more. I think they need to do that to become a legitimate company. And number 3, last but not least, I really think Crypterra needs to put some focus into becoming more transparent with us. I'm going to jump over here to Hashflare, and you can see right here, Hashflare actually has a team of real individuals with a role. And I really think Crypterra should take a note from the Hashflare book and show us some people involved. We'd really like to see it. We'd like to see some pictures, some videos. We want to know where our money's being spent. And I really don't think that's too much to ask. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about where this leaves us as investors on the Crypterra platform and what you guys should do next. And the answer isn't very simple. It really depends on what you want to do. I personally had a little bit of faith restored in Crypterra this morning after losing pretty much all of it when I thought I'd been scammed. So I'm pretty optimistic at this point on what the future holds, and obviously Crypterra has some work to do, but based off of their tweets, I think they know they have some work to do, and we'll see if they can follow through on it. Like always, guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and if you want to use my sign up link, I would really appreciate it, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.